Hey pals, welcome to Frame and Fiber. I am Paige Miller and I'm glad that you're taking a bit of time out of your day to hang out with me to chat about knitting and making and all the things happening at Frame and Fiber, which is my picture framing and yarn shop in Point Pleasant, New Jersey, and the name of this podcast. So thanks for joining. You can find me as Paige the Framer on Instagram and Ravelry. So check me out there if you would like to find out more about what I'm all about. Yeah, so let's just jump into it. I have a lot to share with you. I haven't seen you guys in a bit. I think since before I went on my trip to Norway, which was the very end of February. Today is April 5th, my daddy's birthday. Happy birthday, Daddy. He does not watch this. No. Yeah, so we are all in the middle of an interesting time to be alive on the earth right now. So concerning all of the COVID-19 and the crisis across the world, I hope you guys are safe. I hope your families are well. I am a praying person, so if you do have any prayer requests, if you're feeling anxious about what's going on and just need some prayer, leave a comment below and I will pop you in my morning prayers. So, obviously, if you followed me for some time, you know that I am a small business owner, and yes, this definitely affected me just like everyone else across the planet. It's crazy that it literally is everyone on the planet. But yeah, I'm doing okay. The shop is closed to the public because I'm a custom picture framing shop, and it's a one-on-one kind of, you know, in-person business. I am slowing down on the picture framing side. On the yarn side of the shop, it's been pretty cool to see how you guys, you knitters and crocheters out there, have been supporting small business. And for those of you who have bought from me on my Etsy shop, I really appreciate all of that immensely. So thank you. This is also supposed to be the weekend of the New Jersey Wool Walk, which was canceled. And I know a lot of the other yarn shops in my area had bought a lot of inventory for this weekend. So I've noticed that their communities have really stepped up and helped them out too. So thank you for all of that. That help. It has been not only obviously helping me to pay the bills, but it's been a huge encouragement to my heart. So thank you so much. Picture framing has been interesting. Like I said, I'm a custom business, so you have to come in with your object and we need to discuss it so I can go ahead and build a project for you. So here on YouTube, I started back in January, before I knew any of this was happening. Before that, in December, or in 2019 that is, I started planning on doing a series of picture framing videos for my YouTube channel, showing you guys and anyone else who is interested in what custom picture framing entails, showing you the process of helping a customer pick out the components to what they're going to have framed. So I have 3 videos up so far. I have 9 more to go. The next one will be out next week. So if you're interested, please give them a look and share them with anyone who you think might be interested. They are not yarn, fiber, or knitting related, so they might, you know, you could share them with people outside of our knitting community. But yeah, I wanted to share with you guys my process. It's funny because everyone jokes around about my Instagram name, which is Paige the Framer, because if you just switch that R and that A in the middle there, it looks like I'm Paige the Farmer. And in an industry of sheep and alpaca and farming, people just assume I'm Paige the Farmer. So sharing these videos shows you guys what exactly it means to be a farmer of picture frames. yeah, so check them out. I am really happy that a lot of my fellow podcasters have volunteered their time to help me make these videos. I could have used customers locally, but honestly, the podcasters that we all love and watch are used to being in front of a camera, so I didn't, you know, if I had just asked someone who wasn't used to it, they would be even more awkward. So I'm really grateful to everyone who has helped me with that. So please look forward to more videos. But because of what's going on with the coronavirus, these videos are pretty relevant in the world we're all living right now, because they're all about how I can help customers virtually. So you don't have to live in the same town that my shop is in. You can live clear across the country, which is pretty cool. Ask me any questions. If I didn't tell you enough and you want to know more, let me know. Contact me, send me a direct message, however you want to do it. And like I said, thank you guys for the Etsy shop, or for shopping it. So all of the yarn that I sell at the shop is now up on Etsy. I even have some of my accessories and notions, my knit mats. I made a bunch. I've been a little bit slow at the shop, right? Because I don't have, the general public is not walking into my store. So I have been slow on the picture framing front. So I've been using that time to make things. And so I have some knitting mats. They are photo frames, which you would think I would have one here to show you, but I don't. I'll put a picture in here. Anyway, my idea behind them was just to put my two loves together, picture framing and knitting, and I love going to festivals and being with my knitty friends, my knitty posse, and so putting pictures of ourselves with our friends in these mats in a photo frame was my whole intention with these. So anyway, check all that out. I think that's it as far as like shop related, work related things. You know, working from home now and spending more time at home. There's a lot more time to reflect on what actually is necessary and what actually is important, which is good for me because I get so wrapped up in trying to make my business grow and make it more successful, and that it's really kind of brought me back down to, wait, do I really need to do X, Y, and Z? No. It's okay to slow down. So silver linings, there's always a silver lining in every situation. No matter how bad it is, there's a silver lining. So yeah, slowing down, that's my silver lining. That, and I've been cooking a lot more, which is a major silver lining for myself and Paul Miller. So should we get into knitting? Let's see, let's talk about finished objects, not finished objects, works in progress first, because I want to talk about a knit along that I am hosting, co-hosting. So I mentioned briefly that I went to Norway. I went on a trip to Norway with a bunch of friends. Well, they weren't friends at the time, they are friends now. There are 15 of us, and we had the best time. Patricia of Knitography was our host, and she was the most gracious, amazing host on the planet. Norwegians in general, if there are any Norwegians watching this, you guys need to teach the world about hospitality, because amazing. I can't even express to you guys how at home I felt everywhere we went in Norway. It was amazing. I want to be Norwegian. I want to be a Norwegian in Norway, or at least be an American who lives in Norway. It was incredible. I kept joking around with Paul Miller when I got home that I should go back to school to learn something so I can pitch myself as an asset to the government of Norway so that they will say, yes, we will take you. Anyway, Patricia, you can find her on Instagram as pfortune, or you can find her as Knitography. I'll put that here somewhere. She just released within the past week or two a new shawl pattern. It is called Forest Path. I'm gonna move over here so I can put a picture there. So Patricia released this pattern in the last couple of weeks, and a bunch of us who went on our Norway trip together decided to host a knit along for this pattern. And what's been really cool is, I think it was Rachel from Treehouse Knits. I think she's the one who instigated the knit along. I'm almost positive. She, along with myself, Joyce from Ruby Moss Cottage, Lori from Chickenwood Studio, and NC, who I have not met yet. She's also hosting with us, and her Instagram is NC Austin Knits. So what's really cool is we have a ton of sponsors, and I will list them for you below. You can find all of this information below. But a lot of the sponsors are women who I met on our trip in Norway. So this is just really lovely that we get to extend our great time that we had together in Norway into this make-along, supporting Patricia and her beautiful farm and what she's doing in Norway. It's wonderful. So let's talk about the pattern. So it is called the Forest Path. I think I said that already. I am using, let me grab the yarn that I'm using. So it is made in a really lovely green, and most everyone that I'm seeing is either using earth tones or a green color. The pattern is green and it has a motif of trees, and so it's like taking a walk in the forest. And for me, I wanted to use something. At first I wanted to see if I could use some of the Norwegian yarn that I brought home, and I just didn't like any of what I had for this. So then I started looking closer to home, and I came up with Concordia 2019, a harmonious blend of wool. It's 50-50 Foster Farm Romney and wool from Falkland Island sheep. So I bought this. This is from the yarn shop at Foster's Sheep Farm. Carol, who is such an awesome lady. This is her yarn, her farm. So there we are. This is a super plump 2-ply sport yarn. It is undyed. It is squishy and soft and gorgeous. Let's see what we got. Sport weight, we have 263 yards per skein. I'm loving this in my hands. And I love this for my forest path because the whole time we were in Norway, it was snow covered. It snowed, I think, almost every day that we were there. So for me, just a reminder of the snowy forest in Norway. This is gonna be for mine. So I am work in progress at this point. So here I am. So it is a traditional garter tab cast on triangle shawl. And right now it's just this lovely repeat of stockinette and moss stitch, which is so fun. I am loving the knit. I can't wait to get to the trees. It's going to be so fun to be knitting amongst the trees. And what I love too, just bringing my Norway back with me, right there is my progress keeper, that Patricia. So if you're not familiar with Patricia and Knitography, go check her out. I will link below her 2 Instagram accounts so you can really see what she does. But she has a farm store where she makes all kinds of things. She makes sock blockers, mitten blockers, progress keepers. She even has a set of progress keepers and stitch markers to go along with this forest path pattern. So definitely check that out. I don't have them. What I have and what I'm using is my progress keeper that she made for us. She made, I'm assuming she must have made at least 75, 80 of these. And Patricia made it into a progress keeper for everyone who came to the tea party, which I think there were about 60 to 65 women who came. And then I have purchased these a couple years ago, probably. Patricia also, she made these Norwegian roses. I think they were Norwegian roses, Norwegian star, snowflake, however you want to call it, stitch markers. So this is all about Patricia. If only I had some of her yarn, I would have used that. I have never knit a project with white yarn. I'm almost positive I haven't. Or like just, you know, undyed. No, I don't think I have. So it's a lovely experience. The only thing that and this might just be me and I did not gauge for this. I just jumped right into it. I don't generally swatch for shawls unless, you know, I don't swatch for shawls. So my tension is a little bit loose, and I don't know if that's because I'm loose or because my yarn might be a little bit thinner than what she called for in the pattern. I cannot remember. So part of me wants to, that's my fabric. So you can see it's pretty loosey-goosey. I mean, you can see through it, but it's a shawl, right? So it's airy and light and squishy. So I don't know. I'm this far into it. I should probably just stick with it. I picked this project for some reason to practice my mirror knitting. Why? So that could be another reason why my gauge is a little bit off. Mirror knitting, if you're not familiar, is when you knit on the right side, holding your yarn from the left needle onto the right needle. Mirror knitting is then not turning your work, but then knitting from the right needle back onto the left needle. Right? Did I say that? I said that correctly. So mirror knitting, and I switch the yarn from my left hand into my right hand as well. It's funny. I crocheted way before I knit, and I knit with crochet with my crochet hook in my left hand, and I tension with my right hand. So, and then I knit tensioning with the yarn in my left hand. Yes, that's definitely backwards. So the cool part about that is for mirror knitting, I can switch the yarn back and forth and it's okay. Anyway, my friend Jan took a class with Patty Lyons on how to do it, and so I watched her at my shop do it, and I was like, oh my gosh, that makes perfect sense, because now I don't have to purl. I don't mind purling. Like, I love purling with the moss stitch. I love 1x1 rib. I just don't like purling constantly. I like breaking it up. So, and it is faster for me to knit on both sides, both directions, I should say. So, my forest path. Are you guys looking to join a make along? A knit along, I should say. This is purely knitting. And if you want something that, for me, at this time, like, this is a definite go-to, not a hard, complicated knit. That said, I've made a ton of triangle shawls. So if you are new to shawls, maybe it wouldn't be as super easy, but I don't need to look at the pattern to do that. Well, I need to look at the pattern just so I can make sure that I do the correct number of repeats, because you can see that the moss stitch gets bigger and the stockinette gets smaller. But other than that, it's a nice, easy for the mind knit. So yeah, if you're looking for something just cozy and warm, this might be something for you. I would love it if you would join us making this project. The knit along runs through March. Nope, we've passed March. Through May 31st. So you have plenty of time to make this. It's not a big shawl. I don't think it calls for, I think it's less than 600 yards of a sport to DK weight yarn. Yeah, so join us. If you are a Ravelry user and would like to join a Forest Path Cal thread, Rachel of Treehouse Knits has a thread on her Ravelry page. And then for myself, I will definitely be giving a prize to a winner. I will randomly pick someone from the hashtag. So to win my prize, you don't have to finish. So if you watch this and want to join and you know you're not going to get it finished, it's cool. You can still enter into it, the hashtag, which is Forest Path KAL on Instagram, and you'll at least enter into my drawing. I don't know exactly. I know Rachel on her discussion board, she has a chatter thread for this Cal, and she has a finished object one. So I'm assuming she's going to pick from there. And then I think if you want to win any of the prizes from our sponsors, which again, I'll put them up for you so you can see, there's going to be some great prizes there too. So please go and enter into that FO thread on Treehouse Knits on Ravelry. Yeah, so Foster's Sheep Farm and Forest Path. I love them together. All right, so that's that one. That's one done. One done. Another work in progress. I cast this on, so I swatched for this probably before I went to Norway, so probably beginning of February. And then one thing led to another and I just wasn't able to get to it. But I cast it on Friday night. Today's Sunday. I'm having a really good time knitting this. Like a really good time. Would you like to see it and know what I'm talking about? So here's my swatch. I am knitting using Navia Duo, which I do sell in my Etsy store on the Frame and Fiber NJ on Etsy. You won't find me if you just do Frame and Fiber because someone already took that name. What? So Frame and Fiber NJ. And you can find Navia there. This is a lovely yarn if you are a color work knitter, and have not tried Navia. I would definitely recommend trying this. It's a really nice blend of Faroese wool, Shetland, and Australian lamb's wool. It is, to me, it's just the right amount of tooth. So it's a woolen spun yarn. So it's lovely for color work. It really wants to stick to they want to stick together. But the yarn itself is, for me, definitely can be against your skin. Like, not bad at all. It's not super soft like merino, but it doesn't have any little pricklies. So I think it's a good middle of the road. So that's my swatch. I knit my swatch in the round. Oh, that's funny. You can see where I laddered a little. No, you guys can't see it. Can you see it if I do it like this? You can't see it. Anyway, so I knit it in the round because the sweater is knit in the round. The sleeves are steeked. So I steeked my swatch. There's the steeked edge. Let's see, what do I want to tell you about this? Because this yarn is so lovely and sticky, I just crocheted, I locked the stitches just with a crochet chain. I didn't sew it. I don't think you would need to sew it down. You could if you're nervous, but I was not nervous and it is fine. So I've never steeked with anything except for yarns like this. So I haven't had any like scary issues. Even the first thing that I did, which was a couple years ago when I was in Maine, it was a wool cotton blend. It was, I think, either 10 or 20% cotton, but it was woolen spun. So yeah, it was fine. Crochet was all I needed to do. So anyway, I didn't tell you what this pattern is. I'm telling you all about the yarn. I am knitting the Autra sweater by Scandier Knits. It is a top-down construction, and the cast on, the shoulder shaping is very interesting. This is not a beginner project in any way. Only because it's fiddly and you really have to understand your knitting and construction. You have to really understand how magic loop works. So I wouldn't recommend this to anyone who's new. But if you are, just looking for a bit of a challenge, I'd say this would be really fun for you to do, for you to try. And it's only the very beginning that's the challenge. It's just the cast on short row starting to work in the round. That is it. Once you get, I'm this far down and it's fine. Once you get done with that, this is like easy peasy. Easy peasy? Easy breezy? Maybe it's Maybelline? I don't know. Okay. Easy breezy. No. Anyway. Ignore that. Wrong reference. Okay, so let's talk about this, shall we? So Miss Ellie of Scandier Knits is a prolific pattern writer. I have made lots of her patterns, mostly mittens. Although she just put out a new shawl pattern that I want to cast on. Oh, there's so many things that I want to cast on. Later on, I'm going to need your help. I have a couple lists to go over with you. Okay, so let's see. This is the front. So I'm not very far along, as you can see. I'm just at, this is the neck, right? That's the neck. I love the fact that this is such a small opening. So this is how it'll fit. So you cast on and you knit and then you do your short rows and then you flip around and you pick up along the cast on and then you're like casting on in the middle of row. It's really fun and really clever. So my steek has, ooh, pull the needles through so I don't lose any stitches. So my steek is right there. I'm going to pull that apart so you can really see it. So those are my pearls. That's the steek. And I didn't read ahead to know exactly, but I think the steek is just the color work. Like I think that's it. And then the rest is just knit in the round. I mean, the whole thing's knit in the round, but I think then you stop steeking. You stop your steek stitches and then you just continue. It's lovely. I'm really excited. I'm doing the exact same colors, or at least color family, as what Ellie did her original one in, because these are my colors. I love gray, I love black, and well, there you go. Isn't it pretty? So right here, if I were to do anything, I didn't want to rip back, so I'm leaving this as is, but these right here, those stitches, I used the, what am I using right here? I used the whole, so I'm knitting the body in a 5. That's what I got gauged, was on a, I'm saying a US 5. It is a 3.75 millimeter needle. But then the rest of the color work, I realized that was a little tight, so I went up, I think, what is that, to a 4 millimeter? 4.5 millimeter? A size 6. So I think that's definitely going to be better. I didn't do the best. You can see right there, my pickup on my cast on edge wasn't the best, but it's also not the worst. So I'm fine with it. Like, that's pretty fine. So I wanted to take a picture of it for Instagram when it was like really small and funky looking, but yes, I'm just want to warn you now, my vulgar sense of humor is coming out. But I thought it looked a little bit like, well, it looked a little bit like a vagina. I wanted to whisper that just in case anyone was in the room with you. So I didn't want to put that on the interwebs. That was inappropriate. I'm sorry. I'm excited about this. So, it is fingering weight. Did I say that in the beginning when I was talking about Navia? So yeah. If this sweater intimidates you because of this crazy cast on, don't let that keep you from trying out this Navia yarn. It is a drop shoulder. Did I say that? The shoulder, it's a drop shoulder. So I have a feeling, well, I don't know. I'm going to fly through the color work because I'm having way too much fun with this color work. The charts, they're really small little motifs, so they're super easy to memorize. So I'm flying through them. All right, so that's two projects. My last project I wanted to share with you, my work in progress, is my Marled Mania leggings. Did I talk about this in the last one? I should probably rewatch. I don't watch myself back. Once it's up on the YouTubes, I forget that I probably should watch them. Ooh. Watch my episodes, that's what I meant to say. Anyway, anywho. So maybe the last time I talked to you, I was just done with the ribbing for the waistband, and I think I probably explained to you, so I'm not going to explain all of the changes I made because I'll talk about this again anyway, so I'll just show you where I am. So I've got, at this point, I'd say I have like board short length. Yeah, about mid-thigh. No, right above my knee maybe. They fit great. So I'm marling a bunch of minis that I have in my stash. Isn't it great? Marling and then having it be on the marled reverse stockinette is my favorite. Like I can't show you. Yes, I can show you here. I like the way it looks on the knitted side for sure. But I like the way the marling looks better. Reverse stockinette. So I am marling the minis from these like yellowy golden color down. I'm now starting to add some pinks and purples, and then it'll go down to, I think I end on green. Rainbowlicious pants. I'm having a blast doing these. I have to stop myself from working on them because I need to get other things done. But this, now that I'm past the hoo-ha, it's pretty brainless. Like all I need to do is just keep track of my decreases just by putting my stitch markers at every decrease. That's it. It's pretty awesome. So these are by Stephen West. Did I say that? Marled Mania. Stash minis. These stash minis come from Legacy Fiber Arts, Mitchell's Fiber Arts, Yarn Cafe Creations, Wolfiend, and Toad Hollow. So those are my FOs. Nope, those are my whips, my works in progress. Before I move on to FOs, I would like to talk about the fact that I don't have any socks on the needles right now. And that makes me feel weird. Socks are tiny, and I like to keep them in my car. I like to bring them places to knit on when I'm with people. So I have a few sock ideas, and I want to make all of them, and I don't know which one to cast on first. The first one is called Intersections by my dear friend Marceline Smith, who is Hey Brownberry on the Instagram and here on the YouTubes. Beautiful pair of socks. They are in this book. They're in this book. So, oh my gosh, The book smells so good. What is it about printed paper? Well, not all printed paper. This paper. It's like matte finish, you know, no glossy, nothing. Oh my gosh, it smells so good. Okay, so I really want to make those socks intersections by Mars. Then my friend Charlotte Stone, who I just met on my trip, who is an incredible sock designer. She does colorwork socks. She has a beautiful, well, she has several beautiful patterns that I want, but the one that I've landed on is her Matterhorn pair. They're gorgeous, and I want to make them. And then my dear friend Maria from Ninja Chickens, she just designed a pair of socks because she was inspired to design them from our trip. The sock pattern is called Fawnrim Soaker, which Fawnrim is the farm that we went to. Fawnrim Garden, I think, is the name of it. So Fawnrim Soaker is the name of the socks, and they're colorwork and they're lovely, and she designed them based on the glasses that we were drinking out of in this beautiful place. So those are the three that I want to make, and I can't decide. I can't decide. Okay, then there's another two. Now I want to start another shawl as well, even though I still have one going. I feel like I can cast things on because I'm slow at the shop. And I'll be done with the forest path pretty soon. So there are two shawls that I keep going back and forth to. The first one is called Aggregate, knit by my friend Jimmy. It's found in this book, Jimmy Knits, Volume 1. I met Jimmy on my trip to Norway too. She lives in London and I love her. So Aggregate is the name of her shawl. And it's that one right there. I want to make that. When we were in Norway, we were given, where's the yarn? Oh, there it is. We were given this yarn in our goodie bag. This is a Norway and Bardeshog inspired colorway. Again, Bardeshog was the, not the restaurant, the restaurant we stayed in, the hotel we stayed in. So this is inspired by that place and just the beauty of Norway. This was given to us, and I thought this would be fun to pair with something else in my stash to make Jimmy's. And then finally, Miss Ellie of Skein Knits, who is Norwegian, which is why she fits into this. And the shawl that I want to make is one of her newer shawls. I believe it's her latest shawl. It's called the Bunad shawl. And Bunad, it's the shawl that the women wear over their traditional dress. And it's so lovely. Again, it's another simple, has some fringe. Yeah. So I thought I would want to make that. I have yarn from Norway that I could use for that too, which I don't have over here. So anyway, those are the ones that I want to make. Tell me what you think. I'm hoping eventually I'll make all of that stuff. It's just, what do I cast on now? I'm in a dilemma. It's like I really want to cast them on, but I just don't know what to cast on. Should we talk about finished objects? This one, I want to dance for you in this one because it feels so good on, and it feels so good when you move and walk because it has like a swish move. It like swishes and it shimmies when you walk. I just love it. Anyway, so this is called Ellery and it's designed by Elizabeth Dougherty. You can find her on Instagram as Blue Bee Studio and Ravelry, and you probably know who she is already and you don't need me to tell you. I recently just finished the Bodhi, which was designed by her too. That's my golden cardigan epic knit. So this was pretty epic, but in a different way. I knit this pretty quickly. Well, pretty quickly. I cast it on and then didn't touch it for a little while. And then once I had time for it, it went pretty quickly. It was a really fun yoke design. It is meant to be worn with lots of ease. It fits, like I said, like a glove. It's a bit cropped. You can make it longer if you'd like to. I really like the shape of it because it is so boxy and drapey. So I didn't mention what yarn I used. I knit this using Kestrel, which is a 100% linen from Quince & Co. You can find this in my Etsy shop as well. Quince was so great in supporting all of us small businesses, in allowing us to sell our Quince stock on our websites or in our stores online until the COVID-19 crisis is over. So thanks, Quince. But anyway, you can find this in my Etsy shop. So this is Kestrel. It is a worsted weight linen, 100% linen. And the linen is a lot heavier than the wools that I knit with. So it really kind of hangs off your body instead of like, and it has a cling factor too, but in a good way, not in a like, ooh, it doesn't cling to all the spots. The way the pattern is written, it really is meant to just drape. And so I would definitely recommend doing this pattern in a linen or linen blend. I know you can do this. There's a couple, I think Elizabeth did like an amendment to the pattern, so you could do this in wool. And although it's probably lovely in wool, I think this, it just shines in linen. So if you have linen in your stash, make this. Like I said, it's worsted weight. So just like her Bodhi design, this is different motifs where you do have to switch your needles. I think I used 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5, no, 3 or 4 different needle sizes to make this overall. These are just slip stitches, really nice. She does all of her decreases in this, not in pattern, so it's like in the break, in this like, what do we call this? I forget what she calls it, but you can see that there's that line in between the different motifs. Really lovely, really fun to knit. What else can I say about it? Obviously it's fun to wear because I'm loving wearing it. It's 100% linen, 3/4 sleeve, 3/4 sleeves. Hello. Which I think is going to be great for the warmer months. But it would be really nice over a long sleeve, just shift dress. I think would be really pretty too. So, like I said, I love the way this feels on. I would really like to say that I will make a second one because it's that great. Yes, she does some short row shaping in the back, which I think you can see it right there. If you have been thinking about casting this on, definitely do it. Do it now so you can wear it for, you know, May, June, July. Anything else I want to say? I mean, it's 100% linen, so it's easy care. When I was done with this, I soaked it in water for like half hour, 45 minutes, put it in my washing machine on the spin cycle, and then threw it in the dryer on low. I mean, that's how I blocked it. That's another reason why I want to make another one of these. Because that was easy. Linen gets a bad rap. I think people think it's so high maintenance, but it's like the absolute opposite. So this is Ellery. I have nothing to say about, I think I said the same thing about her, the Bodhi cardigan too. The way she writes, the patterns are so well written. I didn't make any modifications to this. Nothing. And I'm in love. The colorway, Kestrel, this is graphite. It is a warm gray, almost like a purpley mauve gray. Definitely more gray than purple, but you can see the purple in there, especially if I wear it with something gray. Yeah. Oh my gosh, look at it. Do you not love it? Do you not love it? There's the yarn I threw. Oh my gosh. So that's finished object number 1. Finished object number 2. So I got this yarn at Chelsea Yarns. It is Wolfo. No, Wolfo. Mofo. It is Wolfo. Oh my gosh. Woolfolk. Far. I got this at Chelsea Yarns in Red Bank. I do believe that Christina has listed a lot of her yarns on her website. I mean, I know Chelsea Luxe is on her website. I don't know. Maybe she's not selling. Check it out if you want, if you're interested. Woolfolk. You guys all know Woolfolk. You can get it anywhere, so just go find it. It's lovely. It is 100% super fine, ultra fine merino, which makes it like, it's so soft and the fibers are so tiny, like they're like super fine that I felt like my hands were sweating the whole time I was working with it. So I enjoyed knitting. I like the pattern, I enjoyed a lot. And this is the yarn that the pattern called for. Who wrote this? Melanie Berg? I think it's Melanie Berg. It's a beautiful I-cord cast off or bind off. She called for a 2-stitch I-cord, but I didn't want to have too much yarn left over, so I did a 3-stitch I-cord. And I think she has you repeat this. The repeat is like 13 repeats, but I did, or no, maybe it's 8 repeats and I did 16 repeats. I made it a lot bigger than, because I wanted to use up yarn. So this is, did I say the name of it? Holy mackerel, like it's like I've never done this before. It is called Void by Melanie Berg. This was a fun knit. Can I show you my big old fat mistake that I didn't notice until after I blocked it, and I'm just like, I need to just live with it because I don't feel like undoing my I-cord to fix this. But right there, you see it? Ew. Why would I purl while I'm doing a garter ridge? Like, why would I purl? So I'm living with it. It's for me. I'm not giving it away. Ew, but I can't help seeing it. So yes, can definitely wear it like this. Oh, it really is cozy. It is super fancy. I feel like I could style this in like a really schmance, I don't know. I have this like really fancy white coat. I feel like I could wear it with that and look all like schmance. So anyway, this was yarn that I've had for quite a bit. I didn't have a project in mind for it, and then, or maybe I did and I didn't like the I decided not to make it, and so then it just kind of sat around because I didn't know what to do with it. So there we go, Void. I would definitely make this again too. It was really fun to knit. Super fun. So those are my finished objects. That's all she's got. I talked about my future makes. So that's everything. Today is Sunday, and I was hoping, I was supposed to record this Friday, but I just kept putting it off. I wasn't feeling it. I wasn't feeling it. So this will probably go up like tomorrow, which means everyone will be back at work, so you probably won't see this for a while, but it's all good. Anyway, all of that, that's all the knitting, that's all the fun for today. I'm glad you spent a bit of time with me. Look forward to my next video, which will be another picture framing video. All right, so I'll see you guys soon. Contact me with any questions, comments, subscribe, all of that lovely stuff. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.